It's the news. And you know what? We actually have quite a lot of news. You know, we almost have too much news. We have a surge a week before the expansion. We're talking about the Wizard Vault. Your alt account farming is dead. Have fun with that. Ooh, brutal stuff coming up. And we got a lot of interesting insight from some playtest or little previews that a lot of online journalist outlets have had. There's actually a lot here, so make sure that you get in there and read it as well yourself. You know, I'm not going to be able to read all of it. You know, it's gonna be one of those videos where I actually can't read enough for you. Okay, you're going to have to do some of the work this time. But anyway, let's get into it. So first up, we've got the Wizard's Vault, and we're just basically seeing the UI. We already know what this was. It's essentially going to be this new kind of daily, weekly system that allows you to kind of have this free battle pass, right? You know, you can do a bunch of tasks, you get mount skins, right? You can get all this, you can get all this crazy stuff, right? You can get like various loot items, right? Skins, right? Cosmetics, like gold out of it. And we're just getting a few more details on that. I do really like that they open with a behold here. They've even set it up so the exchange works whether you can physically reach their location in the skies above Tyria or not. Behold the Wizard's Vault. And yeah, this is going to be a core feature as well. And the reason it's a core feature, by the way, is that this is actually totally replacing the daily system. And that actually is completely confirmed here as well. So, new ways to earn rewards. By directing players to various parts of the game with regularly refreshed challenges and rewards, the Wizard Vault system functions similarly to a seasonal content pass in other games. But we tried to build the Wizard Vault from the ground up to be as player-friendly as possible. Exclusive cosmetics don't go away at the end of the season. You can choose your reward order, and there's no cost in gems or real money. Ultimately, it's a battle pass, but not dog shit. So there's no FOMO. You pick what you want. You don't have to do it in order, so you don't get a bunch of crap that you don't care about. Hey, ArenaNet, you know, it would be kind of sweet if you guys applied that same thinking to the launch supply requisitions, huh? Ooh. Oh, wait. Yeah, you have to buy all of this crap in one go that you don't necessarily want. Would be nice to see that actually rolled out across all the stuff in the gem store. But anyway, back to the main topic here. Some of the choices that we made about Foundation, the system mean that it is a substantially different experience from many seasonal passes. Reward choice. As you complete Wizard's Vault objectives, you earn Astral Acclaim, this kind of basic currency. Astral Acclaim can be spent to buy specific items offered in the Wizard's Vault shop, rather than unlocking specific items at specific tiers of progression. You can choose which rewards you want to acquire. Reward longevity. They don't go away. They're staying there. They're sticking around. Rewards for gameplay. We do not have a premium tier at the Wizard's Vault that has additional rewards. Yes! Good. Okay. I would not like that. If it was premium, they made a good call there. They could have maybe tried to monetize this and do a premium tier, but oof, that would not have worked, in my opinion, whatsoever. And look, you get this cool Griffin skin as well. It's actually a pretty nice one as well. I think this is a really nice step that they are going in this direction. It's a really, really good idea. In my opinion, we absolutely love to see it. Exclusive cosmetic rewards, we have the Enchanted Owl Griffin skin, a new weapon skin collection, 3 unique armor pieces. Other items in the Wizard's Vault shop, in-game currencies, crafting components, and more will be available through gameplay. One item bundle we're debating is a legendary starter kit meant to provide a new inroad to the legendary crafting system. I would actually like them to do that because legendaries are essentially the key endgame progression in Guild Wars 2. So actually having an inroad to that in this important reward structure would probably be a very, very good idea. Which is a pretty good one. Oh, wait, I read this. They're debuting it. They're not debating it. They're debuting it. I can't read. Okay, this is what happens. This is what happens when there's too much hype, guys. You lose the ability to read. This is a good idea. Yeah, I actually really like this. Starter kits for 4 legendaries in this first round of offerings and intend to rotate in others in the future. I actually kind of like that. So, especially given that you'll have to do some collections, probably it almost means that everyone's going to go on like the same legendary journeys at the same time, which is actually really good. More importantly, I think, and well, they highlight this here. Their goal here is to kind of like make sure players know what to do, or kind of suggest that some things for them to try out, right? And give them a bunch of different things to kind of chase after. So one of the most common complaints players have is that they've got no idea what they're supposed to be doing in this game. And well, good news, the game is now going to tell you that. This is a good idea. I think this has been one of the things that especially a lot of veteran players have been saying. Seriously, new players need direction. Tell players what to do. And I think this Wizard's Vault is doing exactly that. So definitely a big fan of that. Pretty cool stuff in my opinion. And yes, here's the confirmation, by the way. Daily login rewards are gone. They are being replaced. Daily, the standard dailies, they are gone. It is now Wizards Vault only. So this means alt account farming is actually totally dead. Some players are probably not going to be super happy about that, but to be honest, it's a good thing. It was really dumb. It was really abusive. The only upside is that it made funding community tournaments possible. And that's something that kind of, you know, obviously very niche. I might be the only person in the entire game who's going to have this issue, but I use alt accounts to fund community tournaments. I've literally earned hundreds of thousands of gold from daily login rewards, probably over 100k, 150k, maybe a bit more than that even, just by farming alt accounts. And this does mean that essentially running community events, so raid tournaments and PvP tournaments with large in-game gold prize pools is impossible. It can't really be done at this age, which kind of sucks. So the prize pools will be a lot smaller, and we'll probably be much more reliant on the ArenaNet pricing from the partner program and stuff. But at the end of the day, this is actually a good change for the game. It's healthier for the game, flat out, in my opinion. Simple as that. Once one of your characters get 80, Wizards Vault UI is accessible to all characters on your account, regardless of which expansions that you own. If you don't have SOTO, some rewards will be locked, and they'll probably do this with future expansions too, so you'll have to, like, unlock certain rewards from other expansions down the line, which makes a lot of sense, right? They want to kind of draw you into the new content. But, you know, there's still some basic stuff in there as well, which is pretty cool there. We kind of learned this from the some of the journalism articles. Sneak preview here. The interesting thing here is that you do get rewards from all game modes. You can see here's a sample of them, right? PvP, strike missions, do a jumping puzzle, world versus world kills, and you can see that this kind of progresses you on your weekly vault, right? And your daily vault, there'll be a special one. That's kind of interesting. I'm very curious what they'll put in there. So maybe some kind of more out there ones, like play it automated tournament, do something on challenge mode, maybe like do a fractal challenge mode in the special ones, little bonuses. But you're not going to have to do all of these, right? You'll be able to max out by only playing your chosen content. And the journalism people have actually told us that you'll actually be able to customize your experience a little bit. And if you want more world versus world stuff, you'll actually be able to direct your vault. If you want only PvP, you might not be able to get rid of all of them, but you can kind of focus on PvP if you want PvP. You can focus on PvE if you want PvE, and you can focus on world versus world. So you actually have some customization with how you actually go about doing this and how you go about actually utilizing your Wizards Vault. So, yeah, I'm actually glad they've shown this. It looks like a pretty cool system, to be honest. I'm not really a huge fan of things like this in general, but to be honest, my objections are irrelevant because I'm just a grumpy old-school gamer who doesn't like kind of arbitrary reward systems. I like the old-school kill boss, pick up item, rather than gather currency and then arbitrarily get an item from a UI window. That's just me. I'm an old man. What can I say? But I think players are really going to enjoy this. And ultimately, I do think this is going to be a really good thing for the game, especially for new players. So I think this is a great addition to SOTO. And I think we'll see some really positive outcomes from this being added into the game. 100% actually. So yeah, that's the Wizards Vault. That is the reward. Yes. Get your cool Griffin. And in other news, I kind of want to get into some of these articles here. So a bunch of journalists got a little bit of playtesting. And aside from these, honestly, pretty cool screenshots, I'm not gonna lie. They did a few videos, you know, ArenaNet did a few videos showcasing some of the environments, but I'm not gonna lie, I feel like these screenshots are a little bit better. Where was this? Right? That's pretty cool, isn't it? You got the blue here, you got the Cryptis firing some lasers all over the place. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, there's some cool images here as well. Oh, one more thing on the Wizards Vault, actually, guys. People are panicking right now and going like, oh, Mystic Coins are gone! Wrong! And why? I can't believe people thought this wasn't going to be the case. ArenaNet already posted about this. Gold Laurels and Mystic Coins, you can get them from the Wizards Vault. So stop panic selling your Mystic Coins or panic buying Mystic Coins. ArenaNet are not going to screw up one of the most important things in the entire game, are they? It makes zero sense. But there you go. And your daily achievement points are still there too. But anyway, back to this one. Okay, back over to this one here. Some pretty cool screenshots. We have some insight about some of the relics as well, and a little bit of idea here about what relics might look like. So, relic of the Citadel, artillery strike, and you know, on the skill target or a nearest enemy that inflicts stun. Relic of the crate, you emit a wave of corruption After using your elite that does Condies, Relic of the Nightmare, elite skill, you do like a Fear, with Fear and Poison on nearby enemies. We saw the Zephyrite one in the Wizard's Tower, then we have this new one, Relic of Ceres. Upon using an elite skill, summon an Eye of Ceres that emits a rotating line attack, dealing damage and converting boons into conditions. So what we're seeing here is that they are going to be kind of replacing some runes, basically, with relics, notably Citadel, Crate, and Nightmare. These are very similar to the actual rune effects that are in the game right now, whereas maybe some of the newer ones from the expansion, these are going to be a little bit more out there, a little bit zanier, a little bit crazier, and have some pretty wild effects that could end up being very, very powerful. They've already mentioned that some of this stuff is going to be balanced per game mode, because yeah, AoE, AoE boon corrupt on your elite skill could be interesting in World vs. World. That's something, right? That's, it's a thing. A lot of them are based on elite skills. We know that not all of them are yet, by the way, because, for example, Thief Rune basically says whenever you use a non-auto attack, you get a damage mod that stacks for a while, so you have to maintain this buff. So not every rune is going to be based on elite skill or based on heal skill, so there are going to be some, like, more different ones that will interact with your gameplay a little bit differently. We haven't seen that many of those as of right now, but that's the deal. And ArenaNet said these are some of the more flashy ones as well. And yeah, again, they've confirmed that not everything triggers on elite skills here. And you know what's actually, here's something that is exciting, and I'd actually highly recommend that you go ahead and give these a read, but I don't need to do that for you. To be honest, like, come on, I've got to make you do a little bit of work. I'll just kind of give a bit of an overview here. Screenshots actually looking pretty cool. I'm liking these environments, to be honest. Cryptids look a little bit better in these screenshots as well. I was a bit disappointed by the Cryptids in some of the videos they showed. They didn't look that meaty or that kind of evil, but as you can see here, like, what the hell is going on there, right? I think that some of these screenshots actually reflect it a lot better. I particularly enjoy this one, actually, with this kind of corruption spreading over this cathedral. Very reminiscent of kind of Guild Wars 1, a bit more gothic. And also stuff like New World, right? I would say even a little bit of Dead Space and Divinity Original Sin 2, which is what I really like. I kind of like it. You have these like semi-organic growths growing over there. That, it's very disturbing. That's what we love to see. Very cool stuff indeed. The environments here, they're pretty nice. But what's really exciting, actually, we got a little bit of information regarding strike missions and the open world events as well, actually. So first up, the open world event. This is something that I wish ArenaNet had shown this. It's so painful that they didn't show this stuff. It is honestly, I find it a little bit frustrating, I admit it. But we actually have some really cool stuff. Let me actually quickly try and find it here. Here we go. Check this out. And this is actually mirrored. This is not just this outlet saying this. This is every outlet has basically had this communication from ArenaNet. The developers have said that the open world boss for one of these maps is interesting, difficult, okay, and kind of comparable to some of the more complicated meta events. And most notably, check this out. They have designed the open world meta for a very large number of players, and that its difficulty approaches that of the Harvest Temple of Ender Dragons. Honestly, they probably won't go as hard as on launch Ender Dragons, but I like that they're not just going to make it a complete joke. Will it be hard? Realistically, probably not. But you know what? Honestly, maybe they'll do another EOD, right? Where it's really strong on launch, then they nerf it later. That's my copium, right? That's my cope right there. But I like that, I think that's cool. That they are maybe trying to make the open world events maybe more complicated with some mechanics that players will have to kind of figure out and have to solve. I think that's cool. I wish they'd shown this, though. Seriously. Like, one of the biggest question marks I've had leading up to this is, are the maps gonna suck? Are the maps gonna be boring? Are they gonna be rubbish? Are they gonna be big and spectacle? Now we have all these outlets saying, yes, it's a huge, crazy boss. It's gonna be massive on this, at least on this one map, right? Why did ArenaNet not show it? Show us, like, 2 frames of it. Look, you guys already spoiled the end boss. They literally did it in their own trailer. Where is it? I've lost it. Yeah, you guys already did it. Look, Demos is back. Look, there you go. They already did it in your own SOTO trailer. Show us a couple of frames of the cool world boss. That's your unique selling point. I don't know. Like, sometimes you just don't, show all the cool stuff in your game and you have it, like, in 2 lines of text in an article. Like, that feels ArenaNet, man, right there. We love to see that, okay? We absolutely do. But regardless, it's good to read it eventually, right? We got there in the end, I guess. I'm actually definitely looking forward to tackling this boss. We'll get the squad together. We're going to smash it into 1,000,000 pieces on day 1. But yeah, it's going to be cool, I think. It's definitely going to be cool, in my opinion. With that, Very, very good. We love to see it. And we also saw a little bit of commentary on the Strike mission as well. And in fact, we also know that this guy is actually the final boss of the expansion. It's now been confirmed, essentially. This is like the big villain called Ceres, apparently, and does apparently have a very similar appearance to Deimos, actually. But kind of like with like really messed up like arms growing out of him or something, like arms or wings kind of growing out of his back. Or something like that. So that's honestly pretty cool. Apparently the fight, it's got all the usual stuff. We've got ourselves some green circles. We've got, stuff to run out of, right? And there's like apparently like a flamethrower style mechanic, a bit like Sabbatha. The journalists likened it to Cairn combined with Sabbatha, which could be pretty interesting actually. Like having greens that kind of like being enveloped by Aerodynol, so maybe you have to teleport over the flamethrower, or you have to have people on both sides of it to handle green circles spawning all over the place. It'll be very interesting to see how that... I wish they'd show some gameplay of this, but again, like, they're really obsessed with not spoiling stuff, even though they already did it, okay? It's very unlikely to actually happen, in my opinion, but hey, that's how it is. It'll be very interesting to see how challenging the normal modes are. This is going to sound weird coming from me, but I really hope that they make the normal modes pretty accessible and the challenge modes can be like really, really hard. Because I do think that EOD strikes, they're just too long. Like, I feel like a lot of new players just really have difficulty with them because it just takes so long to kill them, and I don't think it's that much fun. We kind of saw this with Silent Surf as well, the recent Fractal CM. It's a bit too much. Like, it's okay to have a fight that's long if you're doing a challenge mode and it's like really, really difficult, so the fight has to be a little bit longer. But man, it can be a little bit much sometimes. So I'm very curious to see how the tuning of this actually works out, and how the fights are actually going to play out there. And I kind of love this. Bear in mind, I want to be clear. All of these articles that I've been digging through, some of them are from other languages. This one was originally written in Italian. Another one was in German. But I just want to kind of point out some of the really funny, the amusing Google Translates that's happening here. Unfortunately, we were not able to see all the phases of the fight. Given that the first AoE shot, the press colleagues were already all lying on the ground. Great pens, but no dodge. We're not there. Like, oh, it's funny. I love that. I love to see that, gamers. It's very, very cool. That's the Temple of Thebe, one of 2 strike missions, of course, being released. And honestly, for the lore stuff, this is also pretty cool as well. Apparently, they are actually leaning into this. They're not just reusing the asset of Deimos just for, shits and giggles. It actually is going to be a direct link. I think Deimos is going to have some actual, like Wing 4, Bastion of the Penitent, is going to have direct links straight to Bastion of the Penitent, which I think is actually quite exciting, to be honest. That appears to be the case, and this is demonstrated here. There is going to be some design. There's a nice one that connects directly with the lore level to the Bastion of the Penitent, right? Which is kind of cool. I think Bastion of the Penitent is actually one of the more exciting raids from a lore perspective. I think basically everyone would kind of agree with that, actually. Some really, really cool kind of writing and atmospheric storytelling in that wing. So yeah, it's actually cool that they're going to actually kind of lean into the fact that, yeah, this is a demon, and there is a connection between this particular demon that we saw before and these other entities that are now the Cryptus here as well, which, you know what? I don't even hate that. I don't hate that at all. Not bad whatsoever. I'm actually very interested to see what that's going to be. I definitely have really enjoyed some of the storytelling that I've actually enjoyed in Guild Wars 2 the most has been the raids, actually, is the raids. I do like them a lot. I think they have some interesting stories, even the kind of goofy ones, with the, the Zolros and Kadim arc, which is a little bit less serious and a bit more tangential. I think it's, it's entertaining enough in my opinion, and certainly Wings 1 through 4 was pretty cool, right? Was actually pretty cool stuff indeed. But yeah, there you have it. Some cool screenshots here, and yeah, I'm actually really happy that this got done. I think this is some actual good marketing from ArenaNet. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not going to say that it's perfect in every way, but I'll admit it. I actually think this is pretty cool. I wasn't feeling super interested in the expansion, and that coming from me, that's probably not a good sign, right? Before this, but I've got to say these articles, all right. Yeah, this is not bad at all, actually. And I do like the design of the Wizard's Vault as well. I think, you know what? Okay, all right. I get it. I think this should actually build up the hype a little bit, and hopefully we see a big trailer drop on launch, and with any luck, the expansion actually works, right? We'll see about that, right? It might just be broken. Who knows? But yeah, prepare yourselves, my friends, for the Wizard's Vault. the Wizard's Vault. And prepare yourself for the strike mission. Of course, you know, there's going to be another one that's going to launch as well. A little bit unknown exactly how that one's going to go. Of course, here's like some examples of these skins. But I'm very curious to see how it turns out. And I think a big thing is actually going to be the fractal. And actually, if there's one bit of communication that I want to see from ArenaNet, it's actually about the fractal. And this was kind of briefly mentioned in some of these articles, actually, that we're going to hear about it at some point, right? They need to nail it. The recent Fractal Silent Surf has not gone over well with a lot of the existing Fractal community. Definitely missed the mark, and I think the future of Fractals is actually very important to Guild Wars 2, so I really want to see some communication on that. I think it should be a big priority to get gameplay, and just honestly, show gameplay with what they're working on, and be very transparent, actually, with the direction they're planning on going with Fractals. That's very important. The strike missions will probably work out pretty okay, because you know, it's going to be a boss. Hopefully it will be hard. Hopefully it's got some good rewards in it. It's got the fat loot. It probably can't. How bad can it be? All right? Okay? That's going to be one of those statements that's going to come back to haunt me, right? Like, how bad can it be? Seriously. Right? Like... But anyway, I think that'll just about do it for the news. Once again, I'll link as many of these articles in the description, so you can give them a read there as well. I don't want to just completely, you know, this is my content. I'm just going to completely, like, word for word read all the hard work of these journalists. No, that's not what we do here, okay? I only do that with the Guild Wars 2 blog post. Ha Anyway, that is going to just about do it. So let me know what you think, gamers. Leave a comment. Like and subscribe, and, you know, oh, look at this, bit of a reminder here, guys. Pre-purchase the game. Oh, yeah. Although, actually, to be perfectly honest, guys, you know, pre-purchase the game if you know you're going to play it and you're excited. But honestly, I think that this is definitely something that you may want to actually consider waiting, okay, and then seeing how it actually plans out. Like, I think we're relatively low information right now when it comes to Guild Wars 2. In this expansion, and kind of how this format is going to play out. So I would actually highly recommend that you be responsible with your money. Okay, if you want to buy the game, honestly, go ahead and do it. But otherwise, I think there's definitely some value in maybe actually waiting and seeing, right? The game's not going anywhere. You're not going to be missing out. Like, hell, there's no FOMO, right? They deliberately made it with no FOMO. So take your time, right? Don't leap into it if you're not feeling the energy yet, if you're not into the juice, then that's completely fair enough. Right? You know, that's, it is what it is. That's just how it goes. But anyway, that's it. I'm out. The news is done.